Full frontal attack by Pakistani security forces. Their target are not pro-Taliban militants that they have been fighting as part of the war on terror, but Baloch nationalists. Though Pakistan's Taliban-infested northwestern border has been the focus of international attention, it is the province of Balochistan that is fast becoming a flashpoint for turmoil in the region. For decades, Baloch nationalists have battled with successive governments in Islamabad for control of their rich gas and mineral resources. They claim to achieve this, they are struggling for their future. As the situation gets uglier day by day, this volatile province has become the biggest challenge to General Musharraf's military-led government. It is no longer just a domestic problem, but also an irritant between Pakistan and its two most important neighbors, India and Afghanistan. This is Dera Bukti, in the east of Balochistan. What was once a sleepy town is now under attack by Pakistan's security forces. Their main target is Nawab Akbar Bukti, the most prominent leader of the Baloch nationalist movement. The Nawab's fort is under siege. The Baloch nationalists fire back from the fort, and caught in the crossfire is the innocent population. More than 200 people have died in this virtual war between Baloch nationalists and the government of Pakistan. The desperation here, a sign of how little these people are being heard by anyone on the outside. It is not easy for journalists to get to these areas. Balochistan is Pakistan's largest but the most underdeveloped province. And as we go deeper into the region, it's clear the voices of alienation only get stronger.
हमारे अपने हकूक हैं, हम हकूक मांगते हैं, हमें बम्बू और ये सारा शिकल तोपें इस्तेमाल की जा रही है। सरासा है, अगर हमारे तरक्की चाहता है तो हमारे पास आ जाए, हमारे नवाब बुक्ति से मिले और हमारे साथ मुज़ाकरात करे। हम मांगते हैं रोजगार हो, हमारे रोजगार, और हम ये चाहते हैं कौम का तरक्की हो। कौन चाहता है कि हम तरक्की के खिलाफ हैं? हमारा नवाब बुक्ति जितना हमारा चाहता है, हमारी कौम के लिए अपना चाहता है, ये सरासर ये झूठ है।
Despite ethnic tribal differences, the crux of the problem is economic. Balochistan sits on perhaps one of the richest reserves of gas and mineral resources in the country. Over the last few decades, the central government has built large gas pipelines like this one at Sui. But most of the gas goes out of the region to the rest of Pakistan. The people of Balochistan say they get no revenues from their own gas reserves and get no benefit from their own natural resources.
But the fact remains that this is a territory, a people that have been literally, I think, oppressed for the last 50 years. This is a battle about resources in which they feel that they don't get their fair share. They contribute the largest amount of energy, which is through Sui gas, to the national exchequer. They don't get their fair share of that. It's the least developed province. It's the least literate province, the province with the worst healthcare, with the worst statistics in Pakistan. Now, after four insurgencies, surely the state or the army should have learnt their lesson. Surely, I mean, one thing they should be doing is to pump up the well-being of the Baloch. Given that the population is so small, I mean, it's not difficult to do that. It doesn't require enormous resources to do that. But unfortunately, every single regime has refused to do that.
In this tribal province, the Pakistan government's central rule has little impact. Tribal chiefs control the region. It's a Sardari system that has its own system of justice. The Pakistan government insists that this system is backward and is the main reason why Balochistan has been left behind. but people resent the presence of military troops in the region.
वो कहते हैं कि मैं सरकारी निजाम खत्म करूंगा। क्या सरकारी निजाम खत्म करेगा? हम चाहते हैं सरकारी निजाम। हम चाहते हैं हमारे असूल होगा सरकारी निजाम। सरकारी निजाम हमें चाहिए कि हमारे इंसाफ है, उसमें बेहतर है हमारे लिए। फौज का हमें बेहतर नहीं है। 55 साल हो गए हमको गैस नहीं दिया फौज ने, क्या देगा?
अगर आप इन तीनों सरदार को भी कह दें, इनका एरिया कितना है? कोलू को आप नवाब खैर बख्श बुगटी के हदूद में निकाल दे, सुई को आप खैर अकबर बुगटी के हदूद में निकाल दे, वट को आप अताउल्ला मेंगल के हदूद में निकाल दे। बाकी आपके पास पूरा बलूचिस्तान है, 3.5 लाख मुरब्बा किलोमीटर आपके पास बचता है। इन इलाकों के सरदार तो आपके पास बैठे हुए हैं, आपके पास गवर्नमेंट में है। इन इलाकों में स्कूल क्यों नहीं है?
The people who do not trust the centre resist the centre's development plans, and the Pakistan government uses force to counter their resistance. There are now over 20,000 central paramilitary troops in the area. The Musharraf government insists that development must happen and force is the only way they can protect their interests. The centre has pumped 140 billion rupees into the region for greater gas exploration, building of dams and a canal system, a deep-sea port at Gwadar in the south, made in collaboration with the Chinese, a road link to Afghanistan, and an Iran-Pakistan-India pipeline under consideration.
We would want to fire on focused targets, where if someone fires on the law enforcement agencies, they will see where the fire is coming from and fire back.
So there has been collateral damage in the past.
That is what we are trying to, control. We don't want any collateral damage, in the sense that if you look at the number of casualties that the law enforcement agencies have suffered, look at that also. And how did this happen? This is because, for the reason that we do not want to fire at anyone unless we are fired upon. And that is why...
But you said you want to control the target, so obviously there has been civilian...
No, I wouldn't say that there may have been a couple of civilian casualties, but not to the extent that you say.
But with the Baloch deep-rooted history of grievances, mistrust and violence, few are convinced that the Musharraf government strategy will work.
हम किस तरक्की की मुखालिफत कर रहे हैं? ग्वादर प्रोजेक्ट हमें नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि ग्वादर प्रोजेक्ट का मतलब ये है कि आप पूरे ग्वादर के जरिए एक ग्लोबलाइजेशन का जो एक वबा है, एक वबाल है, एक तबाही है, वो आप ग्वादर के प्रोजेक्ट में या पूरे बलूचिस्तान के ऊपर वो लाद रहे हैं। जो हाल में ऑपरेशन हो रहा है, इसने एक बात वाज़ेह कर दी है। एक वाज़ेह बात ये आ गई है कि यहाँ 3 सरदार नहीं है, यहाँ बलोच कौम है। वो बलोच कौम जो बाशऊर है, वो बलोच कौम जो ये समझती है कि जमीन का असल मालिक कौन है, और वो बलोच कौम जिसके सामने उसका टारगेट क्लियर है। हमारा टारगेट 1947 उससे भी पहले अंग्रेजों के वक्त से था कि हमारी जमीन है, हमारी मलकियत है, इसकी हक की मलकियत भी हमारी है। अब हम किसी भी सूरत में किसी भी गैर को अपनी जमीन पे बर्दाश्त करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है।
The Baloch resistance is not new. It dates back to the British Raj.
Well, certainly the Baloch resistance to the British was very formidable, and the British never conquered most of Balochistan. They didn't occupy it. They had treaties with the Sardars or the local rulers. Come Pakistan, of course, there was a big debate in Balochistan led by the Khan of Kalat as to whether the Principality of Kalat should actually join Pakistan or not. And following that, there were 4 insurrections in Balochistan against the Pakistan government of the day, which became, which were very bloody, which had to be put down forcibly by arms. And of course, the Baloch who fought in these insurrections became the kind of local heroes for the population. Certainly, the bloodiest insurrection was in the 70s.